Good evening, gentlefolk, and welcome back to Dark Souls 2 with me, your glorious host, Screamy, where we are still perched in the shaded wood after our last episode. We pretty much cleared this area entirely out last time, and we are just making a little beeline for the boss. We didn't have quite enough time to destroy her last time. Going to have a little chat with the inhabitants, just like last time. So pleasing, so pleasing. Yes, indeed. You will see the horrible pots have respawned. They will do that every time you rest. Yes. Increased some stats after we left the camera last time, as usual. And we now have... Oh, I'm going to have to look at that, actually. I was going to talk about something, but I can no longer quite remember what. And I'm actually getting my butt kicked. And I'm getting cursed. Things suddenly got quite exciting. So much more interesting when there's two of them. Yes, the tigers can drop quite... Oh, hang on. We didn't check this, did we? The tigers can drop some quite useful, very light armor that protects against falling damage. It is, however, rather rare, but it's an alternative to the Jester's boots if you're impatient. I did pick that up. Huh. Imagine that. Me forgetting something. The world we live in. Yes. But alas, through this path and up here. I sometimes go all out, but you need some decent item collection gears to get all of it. But if you're going for a lightly armored character, it might actually be worth it. The elemental protection is not insignificant. Should we do something useful and clever here? Yes. Let's pretend we're competent. And equip the spell quartz. Yay, that's a boss. A tiny person. Waist deep in sand. Surprise Scorpion! Everyone likes a surprise Scorpion. I'm gonna try for something fun here. That may or may not be possible. Find out! You will see. That's one tail off. Yep, you see what I'm going for. I love dismembering bosses. I can't help it. So much fun. That's two tails. Ah, beautiful. This is going rather well. Yes. Quite healing. Barely. Rolling through the blows. If you can manage it, very efficient. That wasn't so hard. I've had more trouble with regular enemies. Picking up a soul. Not worth sticking around. There's a trinket on a piece of wood there in the boss room. If she burrows under the sand, you can trick her into knocking it down and you can pick it up. It's not a very useful item in all fairness. But alas, I welcome you to the doors of Pharos. Gyrmland, as I call it. These guys I find pretty annoying. See, there's a certain few enemies in the game that attack so slowly that I have trouble dodging their attacks. With the fast enemies are quite reliable. They pull back, you dodge, they miss you. Fair and square, fair and simple. But with really slow enemies like those, they pull back, you dodge, then they strike once you get up and punch you in the face. Very rude indeed. I hear a dwarf. Or a gyrm, rather. Yeah, don't open this chest. What are you doing there? What are you doing down there, son? Oh. The Great Hammer is quite interesting. Quite a useful... Yes, that is an anvil on a stick. I have an anvil on a stick. Quite a useful heavy weapon, but I just don't like how it attacks. So we won't be upgrading that one. And, come on, an anvil in a kitchen. Remember, we're going for cutlery. Although in all fairness, I could probably make up some lame excuse that it's counted as cutlery. Like with a greatsword or the great hammer. Hammer? Club. Right, got quite a bunch of souls from the young Scorpion lady.
There, less.
Would be a shame to waste those. Yes. Oh yes, that was it. I finally got 20 in vitality. Not sure what I'm going to increase next. I think I'm going 2 points of strength. And then I'm actually going with vigor, endurance and vitality. All 3 of them. Because, in all fairness, I do amazing damage with this weapon, even at my relatively low strength. My goal is to get up at 80 strength, at which point I will do absurd damage. But as for now, this damage is enough, and I think I'm better off increasing my health, how many times I can attack before having to rest, and how much my armor and weapons encumber me. Yes. Behind this door is the other Rat Covenant realm, so to speak, where members of the Rat Covenant can summon and attempt to murder you. Bear in mind though, like I said last time, you will be summoned as a phantom, so you will not actually die, and you lose nothing by fighting them. So, if you're summoned, even if the person summoning you is a complete bastard, just take it with a grain of salt. You're not actually losing anything. You're helping someone else advance in a covenant. And surely that's a good thing, right? Now, the reason I'm going in here, this is not actually the path we are meant to take, is that there's a piece of twinkling titanite and a dragon bone that I very much want. Yes, the infamous rat dogs. Don't underestimate them. Rats are usually not that bad, but those can cause toxicity. They can cause the toxic status ailment, which is like poison, but way faster. If you catch toxic without having your... Ooh, the Grim Great Shield. Very good item. If you catch toxic while fighting other enemies, you're almost certain to die. Let's be fair. They are just showering me in treasure, and I didn't even re-equip the covetous serpent ring. Alright, this is the first. Yes, see this? This is the door you want. Like in the Grave of Saints, in the episode that I messed up the sound on. There's just a ton of... and this path... there, can't speak. This path opens when you unlock that. Like in the Grave of Saints, the place is just littered with Pharaoh's locks. Most of them do absolutely nothing. Some of them just release Gurm, like, you know, the dwarves I just killed, or rather similar. But that particular door gives you a twinkling titanite, they are rare and they are wonderful. But yes, while I was rambling, I also picked up the Gurm Great Shield, the one you can see them using there. One of my favorite shields in the game. Heavy as hell. Quite a significant strength requirement, I think 13 strength, if not more. And there's the petrified dragon bone. Which is the other thing I wanted from here. We need, like I said, we need a lot of them to make the cleaver useful once we've collected it. But yes, back to the Grim Great Shield. I'm just jumping between subjects today, ain't I? Heavy as ass, but 100% in physical defense, which means that if you block with it, you take no physical damage, and also 100% fire protection. So it protects equally well against both fire and physical damage, which can't be overestimated. And it has among the greatest stability of all shields in the game. Which means that if you block an attack, every time you block an attack with a shield, it will drain some stamina. You haven't seen this since I don't bother using shields. Ow! You bastard! but it does drain your stamina, and if you run out of stamina while blocking, the next blow will stagger you, leaving you open for a critical hit. If you're fighting another player, or if you're lucky and just fighting another mob, they'll just thwack you over the head with a regular attack. Now, there is a boss in there. I won't bother with it. I really hate that boss, one of my least favorites. And it opens a path to the other Rat Covenant boss. Or possibly the same. Maybe he's in two places. That's also entirely possible. But he's not important, and we shan't bother with him. But rather get on with our quest. There's a cleaver with our name on it. And just a short while away. Let's not bother with that guy. Yes, if I'd thought about it last time, I would have used the Great Club instead of the sword. Like most heavily armored enemies, they're not very fond of the old crushing attacks. Elephant Guard. Whoever thought of it? They do drop their armor set. This one isn't very useful, but you find more Elephant Guards later, and well, these drop a rusty variety of the armor. The later ones drop a regular one. That's actually quite useful as heavy armors go. Although very, very heavy indeed. And there's a friend Gavlan. Should I speak to him? Nah, shan't bother. He'll be alright. From this spot, he will not move. The other spots, once you've talked to him, he will move to the next point in his... Why is it not really a quest line? He just moves every time you speak to him, until he gets here, at which point he will not move further. Oh, the gear pants. I actually like the gear pants. I might run around in those for a while. They are heavy, but it doesn't like a nice pair of shorts and boots. Actually, that looks hideous. Might be because she's, well, blessed with a large bottom. And the Goon Pants already bless you with a large bottom in themselves, so you get double large bottom. Very nice. I usually have to come back for that one. Advantages of having a crit club, once again. So many advantages. Haven't used this in a while. Might as well. I think I used it for about a minute last episode or something. Yep. Such an amazing weapon. I really do like the heavier weapons. They make me happy. Yes, but let's switch back to the great sword. I gotta clean out my equipment locker. Inventory it's called. Inventory, yes. Words. What do they even mean? But yes, that was the Grimlands. One niggling complaint I have with the game is that they have a lot of areas in the game. A lot of diverse areas in the game with a lot of diverse enemies, but every single one of the areas is lasts like 5 to 10 minutes. I think they would have benefited from having larger, more sprawling areas that were longer, more interesting, gave you a bit of background, history, and investment in the area. I mean, the Doors of Paris could have been really interesting, but we entered it like 10 minutes ago and we're already out of it, and we probably won't be back, ever. So yeah, I think they wasted a bit of potential in that. Yes. And now we're in this area, the peasant encampments. The horrible cursed peasants. Oh yeah, you saw that I got the peasant attire equipment. That's a chest piece of possibly the least useful armor set in the game, which is quite impressive in its own right, isn't it? There are many bad pieces of armor, but that one is by far the worst. How bad it is exactly? It's... yeah, barely any protection, but not insignificant weight. Actually, infantry armor might be... that's not even a hollow infantry armor, actually. Alright, but yeah, still. Peasant attire, terrible. Just remember that. Which makes it kind of interesting for, you know, dressing up as and such, because people know that it's terrible, and if you haven't gathered, I'm trying to jump into a well. There's a good reason for this. I'm just not fooling around. There's actually a point to this. Oh, come on. But as we all know, I hate jumping. Jumping is terrible. No, I won't bother equipping the clown pants. This is a short area. Very short indeed. And then we'll never visit it again. Like so many others. There we go. Bit of damage. Holy water urn, 3 of them. Why even have a well like this? Come on. And you enter in the building I just passed. And this is what I was really after. Not the urns. I mean, come on. You don't need them. These 5 effigies. That's quite impressive. You can't really have too many of those. They are fantastic. This little tent is an old friend of ours. Bernard of Jugo. You know, the grumpy Scotsman with the ancient blade. Junk. I think he dropped that one. That's quite nice. Not if we need chunks. If we need chunks, we'll just put on the bellkeeper ring and slap some fools around. And it will be alright. Peasants! They look ridiculous, but they do quite a bit of damage. Don't underestimate them. Unlike burnouts. Oh god. Great sword inside of a tent. In all fairness, I should shred the tent. And we have another piece of peasant attire. Lovely. Yes, the NPCs, not fantastic. I guess if there were, they wouldn't leave any work for the player, would they? People would just hang out behind the NPCs and let them take care of all the bothersome stuff. Yeah, you see the boulders there? Yes, this will go down exactly like you think it will. Unless, you know what? It won't hit me, that's actually pretty impossible. But it might hit Bernie. We wouldn't want that. He has a tendency to fall off this ledge to his death. It's happened I don't know how many times. Which has greatly annoyed me in the past since, well, like Luke Mira, Bernard has a quest line that you complete by summoning him for 3 bosses and having him survive all to the end. And I'm hoping to do this now, because, well, that means you get his full dialogue tree. Don't really care about the reward. Although there is one. Oh god, I keep hitting the walls. And I roll off the edge. This is outrageous. Oh well, we'll just try again. The boss is just a short while away, I just have to stay on the bloody ledge. Can't believe I rolled off that. Oh well, we have 33 effigies. Might as well use them. At least it wasn't burnout this time. That's really annoying. Though I suppose, I don't know. I guess it's kind of moot to argue which one is more annoying of the two. They're both annoying, right? Silly piggies. That's the only place in the game you find piggies, actually. Ow! For God's sake. Didn't do as much damage as I thought. Although, did his weapon glow black? Because if an enemy's weapon glows black, it's dark enchanted, and will do quite a lot of damage. I don't know some of these gentlemen having dark enchanted weapons. He, for example, has. But I don't think the guy who hit me back then had a dark enchanted weapon, as a matter of fact. More chunk to just throw them at me. Which would be rather painful if they actually did it. But I guess that might save us a trip to the bell tower. Peasant trousers! We can soon dress up as someone completely useless! The joy! Yes, let's not go into the tent this time. Why not? Are you even paying attention? Silly man. Such a silly man. Flame Butterfly, usable pretty much only in one area, the area we previously passed, in the gutter. You know the blackened out place? Yes. It's the only place I use it in, at least. I suppose there are more areas that could kind of benefit from it, but really, no. The game isn't that dark. Through and through. Most of the game is this pale grey kind of colour. Shit, I almost walked into this one. I almost walked into it this time. Speaking is hard, okay? Yeah, don't walk off the edge. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Last time I damaged several enemies, but it didn't actually really kill anyone. Well, it's better than I thought. It's a rare item you can get by helping one of those pigs we just passed go down to an area in the next level, which is a hassle and a half to pull off. But the item is not actually worth it at all. But I might collect it anyway, just to show you how it's gotten. It's due to the really convoluted process involved in getting the item. It's a weapon. It's one of the more rarely seen weapons in the game, overall. So if you want to be unique, you should totally go for it. Yeah, you notice the friendly little chaps in the walls there? We won't actually bother with them. They attack when you open the chest, because spiders are notoriously protective of their loot. Everyone knows this. Have you ever tried stealing loot from a spider? No. Then you clearly don't know what you're talking about, do you? Yes, you heard a weird chanting here. As from the boss. We will soon get to see. One of the easier ones. I think, personally. And this won't be a bother. Maybe I should go for the club on this one. Yeah, let's. Time to go clubbing. And of course I'm gonna mess it up massively because I spoke about how easy the boss was. All part of due process. When he crosses his arms like that, don't get close to him. I'm of course talking to the great goat-headed guy. Smashing! Camera, did he shoot something at me and miss horribly? I think he did. Prowling Magus. But it's done a fine job in taking care of the zombies. I suppose it's good for something. If Bernard dies in this battle, give me a call, because I will be quite impressed. The Undead congregation is wimpy. Don't give a Titanite slab though, those are kind of rare. It's not a terrible loot. Anyway, that's about 20 minutes in it, not? And we've made some progress. Until next time, I've been Screamy and you have been mediocre. Nah, just kidding. You've been wonderful.